gym. You don't have to go to the gym. You can train at home.
Yeah, you lost all your weight with home workouts.
You think about the goals that you want to achieve. Do you really want to lose your weight? You want to be healthy and full of energy? What's going to give you that? The vegetables or the cookies? When you want to lose weight, usually we want to lose it quick and it doesn't last. Take a longer time to lose your weight, change your mindset.
And let's kind of put some time frames on that. So when you came into the program, you were 100, roughly 84 pounds. You went down to about 130 pounds. All right, little interruption before we get into the podcast. Did you know that over 60% of you that listen to this show regularly aren't subscribed to the channel? So if you could do me a favor and click on the subscribe button, because it really helps the channel grow and really helps me get bigger guests on the show and helps me elevate the quality of the show. So again, I run these episodes ad-free for that reason, because I want to give you the best experience possible without any interruption. So this is my little interruption right here. So if you could do me a favor and subscribe, click on the notification bell so you can be notified when the episode goes live. I appreciate it very much. Enjoy the episode. All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Fit Vegan Podcast. And Happy New Year's. Can't believe it's already 2025. Well, it's not, but at the time you're listening to it, it's going to be 2025. And so today I am in Canada, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to record an incredible podcast episode with my mom, who's lost, over 50 pounds, has been able to keep it off for over 4 years. And she's going to be sharing with you all 10 tips that have helped her get in shape and stay in shape outside of the program, so you can have these tools for yourself to be successful in your own transformation in 2025. So let's welcome our special guest for today, my mom.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yes. All right. So today we're going to share all the secret tips, the nuggets, the secret sauce to getting in shape in 2025, because you've had an incredible transformation. Show those biceps. Bam. There you go. So I know you've prepared a list, right? Because I asked you to make a list of like, what were some of the things that were the most impactful for you on your transformation, and that we would be able to pass off to other people as they have that New Year's superpower energy, because this is coming out on January 2nd. So New Year's superpower energy that will be able to help them ultimately become a fit vegan, be healthier, be fitter, have a better mindset, and have a sustainable transformation. And so do you mind diving? We'll be able to kind of stop in between them. But yeah, do you mind sharing the first lesson that you have? We've got to put on the glasses.
Need glasses. The first one I wrote is to plan your week, your meals, your activities, and training. So you just do like your schedule. If there's any special activities, if you have kids, do they have sports? Can you cook your meal that night? You need to prepare before, so you can just warm it up. When you do your training, because you have to book your training time. It's really important. So that would be my first tip.
Okay. So question for you. Do you plan your cooking time? Like you plan that like, hey, I need to prep food for the next day. So do you block off time in the day to do that?
Yeah.
Or just like at the end of the night, you just kind of make time happen?
I would do both.
Okay.
Depending, because I'm working from home and from the office.
Yeah.
So when I'm working from home, usually my lunchtime, I eat lunch, but I have spare time.
Yeah.
So I would get some stuff ready for dinner.
Okay. And then what is your management tool of choice? So I know you're a little bit old school with it. So I use Google Calendar. All my life is kind of like laid out on there, and everything is kind of blocked off.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. What do you use to kind of manage your time to be like, oh, this is workout time, this is work time, this is cooking time, this is time with my dad, all that?
Pen and paper.
All right. And then you just write your date?
Yep.
Okay. You write it the night before? Do you write it on Sunday for the whole week? Like, what's your structure?
I would do that during the weekends.
Okay. And you plan the week ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you block off your times for your workouts and all that stuff. But do you typically keep your workouts and your cooking on similar days, or do you just make it different every week?
Well, it depends if you have special, like I say, if you have kids and you have different activities, it might change. But if, like me and my husband at home, it's always training Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So it's a great tip number one, just because if you're being, you can do pen and paper, do it on the week. I'm techie, so I like the Google Calendar situation, because then I can just make them reoccurring. And then when someone tries to book a call with me, well, they can't during that time because it's blocked off for the gym or for cooking or for whatever.
I'm not busy as you are.
Okay. That's all right. All right. Tip number 2.
Get your grocery list ready with the meals that you want to make, and you can look for grocery store specials or buy in bulk.
Okay. So make your grocery, like list out all the foods that you need to buy for the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I would look for recipes. What do I already have in my cupboards? So what can I use, or any leftovers do I have? What can I use? Because you want your meal to be good, tasty, but you don't want it to cost too much too.
Yeah.
So you look for a special at the grocery store, and that's what I do.
Yeah, let's kind of like open that box up. So in the Fit Vegan program, you do get a meal plan that tells you exactly what the grocery list is. And that's how my mom did her transformation initially. But I've asked her to share things from a point of view of not being in the program so that it would be applicable to everyone. So in a program, you get a custom grocery list, tells you exactly what to buy. So when you are making recipes that are not, Fit Vegan, because now you're outside of the program, how do you go about making your list without it being so complex? Because you thought, like me hearing you saying, like, I'm going to look at recipe and I'm going to make a grocery list. I'm look what I have in the fridge. I'm like, I don't have time for that. So how do you make that simple?
It's simple for me. I've been cooking all the time.
That's what I'm saying is like, what is your strategy? Like, do you go like, I'm going to have the same breakfast all week? Whatever I cook for dinner is going to be the leftover for lunch the next day. Do you do 2 days in a row of dinner the same? Like, how do you structure that usually?
Usually what I do is I would eat leftovers the day that we do training, because we finish training later.
Yeah.
So it's easier just to eat leftovers in the fridge. But the days that doesn't train, give me time to cook something new.
Yeah.
And with more portions. So there will be leftover for the next couple of days.
So the days where you don't take an hour or whatever to train and warm up and do all that, you'll use that as like cooking time. So you can prepare food for the next day or so.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
And for leftovers for lunch or.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah. All right, that's a good one. All right, tip number 3.
Tip number 3. Cut vegetable in advance. So if you're hungry, you have a quick snack. So you don't look for cookies or crackers or popcorn. So you can cut carrots, celery, eat salad or cauliflower, broccoli.
Yeah. So in the program, I use the saying, make it easy for you to do the right thing and make it hard for you to do the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. So that makes it easy for you to do the right thing, to have those vegetables available. Now, a lot of people will have that intention of cutting vegetables and carrots or whatever. Yeah. And being in the house, I know that there's cookies in there. I know there's crackers in there. I know there's popcorn in that cover. So how do you go for the vegetables versus going for the cookie and the popcorn?
You think about the goals that you want to achieve. Do you really want to lose your weight? Do you want to be healthy and full of energy? What's going to give you that? The vegetables or the cookies? I would say the vegetable.
Yeah. So while you were doing your fat loss transformation, there was those foods in the house, right? The cookies, the popcorn, because Dad doesn't care about it. So he wanted those things. So you were able to stop yourself. Was it 100% of the time or some of the time?
100% of the time.
All right. You were determined. Awesome.
I was.
So yeah, again, make it easy for you to do the right thing and hard for you to do the wrong thing. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So tip number 4, I believe.
Try different type of vegetable or fruit, and you might be surprised, because you have a tendency of eating always the same vegetable, even though you want to try something new. But find new recipes, and there's still vegetable I didn't try yet. Even at my age. But so look for recipes and try different ones.
So do you like go find recipe books and try to make different things that have ingredients that you've never used before? Or do you go to a grocery store and you look at a vegetable, you're like, I don't know what that is, I should buy that and give it a shot?
No, I don't buy it before. I will look for a recipe before.
Make sure you can make something good with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So basically being open to diversity, eating new things that you're not accustomed to, because you might figure something out that you actually like and enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
What is a vegetable or a dish that you didn't really know existed, or that you were like, it kind of looks weird, but you actually ended up enjoying?
I like every vegetable except olives and Swiss chard. I can't say which one I didn't like, because in the program there was this recipe, Swiss chard wrap or something.
Yeah. Instead of like a wheat wrap, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was Swiss chard. I don't like Swiss chard.
Yeah, it has a very particular taste.
It does.
Yeah. And I know you never liked olives.
No.
Yeah, I love garlic. The olive stuff with garlic. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I like every vegetable, but
Yeah.
this one I found out that no.
But was there a new vegetable that you didn't know existed that you tried and you're like, oh, actually, this is really good?
Can't think of one, no.
Okay. All right. Well, if it comes up, we'll bring it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So basically, tip number 4 was being open to diversity and trying new things because
and different colors too.
Yeah, because you might like it and you don't know that you're going to like it. All
Yeah.
right. Awesome. All right. Tip number 5.
Meal prep for the days that you're training, so it's already ready, and just warm it up.
Okay.
So sometimes I know that in the program there's 2 days that you can take to meal prep.
Yep.
On the Sunday and the Wednesday.
Yeah.
So you meal prep and it's much easier for the rest of the week. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it saves you time. You're not stuck ordering something on like Uber Eats or Instacart or whatever. Yeah. Which is more of that's more of an American thing because we don't have like, it's not a restaurant culture here in Quebec where we grew up. Like we always ate at home, made meals from scratch. When I moved to the States, everyone is just ordering food out all the time or eating out. Like you don't have dinner with friends, you don't invite them to your house, you go to a restaurant.
Okay.
And that's like the thing to do. Like people very rarely invite people into their house to cook food.
Okay. Not here.
Yeah, I know. So that's why it's so different. No. So basically planning ahead. And again, making it easy for you to make the right decision when you are hungry versus kind of going here through the covers for something that might be processed but ready to go.
Yeah, and if you meal prep, it's already in your container, so the meal is all ready.
And how long does it take you to meal prep for like 3 days? Let's just say you prep from Sunday to Wednesday.
It doesn't take long. I don't know. I'm so used to be cooking and cutting vegetable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not that long.
Like what, like 30 minutes, an hour?
Maybe an hour.
Okay. And you'll be able to prep all your food for you and Dad, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was tip number 4, right?
5.
5. Okay. Let's go. So basically, being organized, taking the time to be organized. And like you mentioned previously, to do it on the days where you're not exercising. That way, that time that you would have blocked off for exercise, you can use it for meal prep.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to think, oh, what am I going to eat? What's left in the fridge or what's left in the freezer?
Yeah.
You don't have to think about it. You do it once and it's done.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Tip number 6. We're flying through those.
Okay. While I was doing the process, I got support from my husband, even though he was not doing the program.
And even though he wasn't vegan.
He wasn't vegan.
Yeah.
But he supported me, helped me through my trainings, because sometimes I had to figure out how to do it because I don't have all the machines here because I train at home. So get the support from your partner.
So what did that look like for you, for Dad? Did it look like him helping with, the cooking or kind of motivating you to work out? What did that look like?
I didn't need the motivation to work out. I don't have any problem with that. But for food, he would help me cut the vegetable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
But it would help. Or when I did the exercises, the 1,000 reps.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah. That's a hard workout.
After I was done the first one, he just helped me, give me my bottle of water, took a towel.
He was your water boy. He was like, hey, drink some water.
Yeah, you're going to survive. Okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's such a big part that some people don't have and some people have in their relationship. Some people, they think, well, my partner is not vegan. He's not going to support me through that. Right. But it is possible because Dad was not vegan and not very open to it originally when you transition. And so he was still able to be supportive even though he wasn't eating plant-based as well.
Yeah. Because sometimes we would go to the restaurants and you're complicated. I said, no, I'm not complicated.
I'm healthy. It's different.
Yeah, exactly.
But just as a tangent, like I think that you becoming healthier and losing the weight and eating plant-based after all of these years and him seeing those results has influenced him to eat more plant-based because he eats a lot less meat from what I'm understanding.
Yeah. He cut that. He cut the meat.
Yeah.
So maybe beef, maybe once a week, once every second week. Yeah.
Yeah. Which that's really good for Dad. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So that was 6. Let's go to 7.
Having the right tools to be cooking, like an example, like a tofu press. I didn't have a tofu press I've been vegan for 4 years. I think I had it for a year now.
Yeah.
And what I found is when you have to press your tofu,
Yeah.
Because of all my volleyball and basketball years, I
Yeah.
can feel it in my elbows.
Yeah.
So when the tofu is cold and I press it, it just goes directly to my elbow.
Yeah.
And it hurts. So for Christmas, I got a tofu press. I was so happy.
Who bought you the tofu press?
I think it's you.
Oh yeah, I think it's us. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can put 2 blocks of tofu in it.
Yeah, it's right behind you. It's being squished right now because we're gonna make a recipe video after this.
Yeah. So having the right tools is worth investing.
What are some of the kitchen tools that, if you only had to pick 3 kitchen tools, you're like, if you have those 3 things, you're like pretty much good to go to make like healthy dishes that taste good.
Okay. That I should have thought about this answer before.
So I'm on the fly. I don't script.
Yeah, I know. The tofu press is one of them. I have one. It's a spiralizer. Yeah, you cut vegetable in different shape.
Yeah.
That's really nice because it does taste the same, but you eat with your eyes too. So
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I have this. And one thing I bought is the measuring cups. Measuring cup for the spoon and the cups in stainless steel.
Okay.
I had plastic for such a long time.
Yeah.
And I got those and I just love those.
You picked that over your Vitamix?
Oh, there's a Vitamix too.
Yeah. I bought you that too.
That too. I really love the Vitamix too because now I can make my own cheese.
Yeah.
The mozzarella, and the smoked cheddar cheese,
Yeah. Maybe we can make a recipe video on that before we leave.
That too, yeah.
Yeah. So to recap, you said tofu press, spiralizer, the cups / Vitamix.
Yeah.
I feel like a blender is a staple that is needed to make like smoothies, soups, all that vegan ice cream, all those things.
Yeah, but I didn't have time to think about it.
No, that's okay. I'm here to help.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so that was tip 7. So we'll be 8. So we have 2 more to go. And then we'll go into some bonus rounds and I'll kind of chime in as well.
Okay. Next one is chew your food, eat slowly, appreciate your meal.
Okay.
Because sometimes you just eat, you're watching TV at the same time that you're eating and you're just swallowing your food.
Not paying attention.
You're not paying attention. You just eat more because since you're not paying attention, you're just eating quicker.
Yeah.
And you put more food. But if you eat slowly and chew it, it's better for your gut too, for your digestion.
Yeah.
So,
where did you learn that?
From you and Coach Sarah.
Yeah, I think Coach Sarah. I still eat fast from time to time. It definitely comes from Coach Sarah.
Yeah, so chew your food at least 30 times.
Yeah.
I don't count anymore, but I chew more my food.
It's about being mindful, right? The 30 times is just to force you to be mindful. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's true. Like if you're watching, I know Dad has this like 7-layer nacho dip or whatever. Like if you're just watching TV and you're dipping nachos in there, like you will eat half the thing and it'll be like 1,500 calories before you realize that you're actually stuffed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take your time to eat, you give your body a chance to catch up to all the food that you ate. And especially if you're eating whole food plant-based, like there's so much fiber, there's so much nutrients, those nutrient receptors in the gut get satiated, and then you won't eat as much. But yeah, I see people on lunch sometimes when we go shopping or whatever, like they're hunched over like this on the table, scrolling on their phone and just like eating at the same time. It's like, oh my God, no wonder people have bad digestion. They're eating so fast, they're distracted, and they're hunched over in half. Like, that's not good for you. Yeah.
So that's something I've learned.
So that would help with being satiated early so that you don't overeat.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically. Okay. Yeah. All right. Tip number 9, 10?
Yes, 9.
9.
What I do is I follow other people that have great ideas for recipes.
Like your son?
Like my son, yeah. That have not too many ingredients, but it's simple and tasty. So I don't have Facebook, but I have Instagram. So I follow those ladies online.
Yeah, let's name a few of them. So we because a lot of them are friends, so you can give them a shout out.
Okay, so we have Carly from Plant U.
Yeah.
I have Sam Turnbull from It Doesn't Taste Like Chicken.
Yeah.
I have Plant-Based on a Diet with Tony. On a budget with Tony.
I can't say her last name. Very hard complex.
Me neither. I should look at my phone. There was this other lady too, Broccoli Mom. I know she's in the UK somewhere.
Yeah.
Other two. So they have good recipes, and when I find the recipe, I just send it to my email. And I have so many recipes now.
Well, let's throw in a French one, because a lot of people No, that's not a lot of people, but some people that might be listening know that we're from Quebec and we speak French. Some of our French listeners listen to the podcast in English just because I do it in English. There's a French guy here. You've been showing me his cookbook. What's his name?
La cuisine de Jean-Philippe.
Yeah, La Cuisine de Jean-Philippe. So that's another guy here in Quebec that's like a vegan influencer / chef that has cookbooks.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're in Quebec, France, and you speak French, that would be another book to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So why is getting access to those recipes important in terms of like being fit and healthy in 2025?
Because they have great ideas. Because you have a tendency to always do the same recipes.
Yeah.
Over and over again. So saying new recipes and new products. And like I said, when there's too many ingredients, usually I won't pick it because way too much stuff to...
Yeah.
I have a lot of ingredients in my kitchen, but sometimes when there's too much, there's too much.
Yeah.
So I like simple and tasty.
Yeah. So I feel like less ingredients would also help people that don't necessarily like cooking. Because a lot of people will say like, I want to eat healthy and be fit, but I don't like cooking or I don't like spending a ton of time in the kitchen. So if you get recipes that are very simple, like the ones we provide members, but the one like Carly has a lot of simple ones, Tony has a lot of simple ones.
Yeah.
It makes the bar to entry lower, right? Like you don't have to be a master chef to make any of the recipes, right? No. You're a lot more of a master chef than I am, and I can make the recipes and so forth. If I can do it, all you guys can do it.
Yeah, but I'm not a master chef.
Way more than I am, that's for sure. We'll see that once we record our cooking video.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Point number 10.
Last one. When you want to lose weight, usually we want to lose it quick, and it doesn't last. So just to change your mindset to a long term. Take a longer time to lose your weight, and that will be done forever. So yeah, just change your mindset.
And let's kind of put some time frames on that. So when you came into the program, you were roughly 84 pounds. You went down to about 130 pounds, right? And that took about 9 months to accomplish that.
Yeah.
Prior to being, and that was, almost 4 years ago, and you've been able to stay in shape and healthy the whole time.
Yeah.
Prior to that, when was the last time that you were 130 pounds? Because you're 59 now.
Teenagers?
Okay.
That's a long time.
So all the previous times that you were 180 plus pounds, which you were for the most part when I was growing up, because my goal was always to like weigh as much as you, because I was trying to get big and strong, right? So you're pretty much always in the 180s roughly when I was growing up.
Yeah.
As you tried like Makers, Atkins, and the weird soup and cracker diet and all that stuff, what's the lowest you ever got on those?
Actually, I don't remember.
You went to 160. Did you ever hit 150?
I don't think so. The 160 was when I was at the gym just the day before I injured my foot.
Yeah. So you like, let's just say 160-ish, 150 in between. That was the lowest you've gone throughout all of those years, through all those weird...
Because I thought at 160 I would be lean. But when I got to 160, it's like, well, no, I still have some more to lose.
Yeah. People are a lot skinnier under the fat than they think. It's always a shock for people, right? Like, because when you got to 130, I think that you didn't think that you would go down to 130, that you had that much to lose.
No.
Yeah, there's a bit of a... Respectfully, there's a bit of a delusion for a lot of people when they come in. It's like, oh, I got 10 pounds to lose. I'm like, it's more like 40, right? If you can grab a handle of your stomach, like a good handle, that's 20 to 30 to 40 pounds solid.
Okay.
To kind of lose, right? Like, yeah. I like to call people out, but always frame it as we reassess as we move along.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
10 pounds, let's get to 10, see if you want to keep losing. But yeah, people are a lot skinnier than they think under all the fat, especially if they don't have a history of resistance training, because they never like actively tried to build a ton of muscle. And especially as you get older, your lean muscle mass goes down with sarcopenia. So it's just worse than they think under. That's why strength training is so important. So basically you're saying I'm better than Atkins and Maker's diet and all the soup and crackers.
Way more better.
Awesome. Mom's stamp of approval on the program. So that was lesson number 10.
Yeah.
I'll kind of add some things that I know that you've learned throughout the program, and I think were the main reason for you succeeding. Is your like you said in your last point, your mindset completely shifted to short term to long term. Because when you do short term, when you try to do short term fat loss, you take a different level of action. versus when you're framing for the long term, you'll take a very different level of action, right? So if you know you have to sprint 50 meters to get there as fast as possible, you'll like exert everything. Like even though your knees hurt, your hip hurt, you'll be like, okay, well, it's going to hurt, but it's going to be for a very short period of time. Yeah. But if you know you have to run a marathon and there's no time being tracked on it, you're like, oh shit, well, I can walk it, right? If my knee hurts, whatever, I can walk it. My knee feels a bit better. I can jog this. I can jog this segment of it. Oh, my hip's hurting, but I can walk the rest of it. Like you won't beat yourself up as much. You won't push past like levels of pains that you shouldn't have to endure. And you'll be a lot more sustainable with how you get there. You're like, hey, I could literally walk the whole marathon because there's no timeline involved. Eventually, if I keep walking, I'll get to the marathon. And along the way, if you feel good, you can jog it. You can sprint a little bit of it. You can sit down for a bit, relax, and then kind of continue walking. You wouldn't treat your body the same. And so when you try to do a rapid fat loss, like you'll cut out social life, you'll cut out dates with your partner, you'll cut out specific food groups, right? You'll demonize, for example, carbs. You'll train 2 hours a day. You'll kind of move all your schedule to make this specific thing work, but you don't learn anything because once you're done losing the weight, all you know to stay fit and healthy is what you just did. And so in order to continue keeping the weight off, you have to keep doing what you were doing before, but you didn't learn anything, right? You were just very anal about your schedule and your food. And so if you do it sustainably, then when you're done, like what you're doing, like to walk into the park at that point, right? You get to eat out, make good decisions. You know how to navigate your nutrition. You know roughly what to make when you're making a meal. You know the proportions. You know you're not going to make a meal with 4 sweet potatoes, half a cup of rice, and some vegetables. It's like, hey, there's no plant-based protein in there, right? You'll throw in some tempeh or some, you like tofu curls or some tofu. You'll maybe have 1 sweet potato instead of 4, and you'll have a bunch of vegetables. Like same amount of calories, but you'll distribute it very differently. And that's what allows you to stay fit after. Yeah. So just kind of sharing that for people, like, if you can reframe the short term versus the long term, you'll take a very different level of action. And you get to build a lot more sustainably. And now it's like actually fun. Like my mom did a muscle building phase and she put on some muscle. She's a lot stronger now. And so you're going to be turning 60 in 5 months?
In May.
Yeah. So in 5 months. Well, in 5 months from this episode going live. Yeah. We're recording this before, but 5 because we got to give it to the editor so she can enjoy her holiday vacation. But in 5 months from this podcast going live, you're going to be turning 60. So getting you back to, being super lean as you just come out of a muscle building phase, I think will be really cool for you. Yeah. And so those are 10 great tips. Any words of wisdom that you wish that someone would have told you when you started this whole journey that we can kind of end the podcast on, putting you on the spotlight again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what can I say? Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, like
you.
Any words of wisdom that you would share with you when you were 55 before you started the program about fat loss and health?
You should have done this program way long time before.
But I didn't invent it at the time.
No, I know.
I was going through cancer. I was too young at the time. Like yeah.
I should have made some research probably.
There's generally no one that does it the way that we do, though.
No.
People are either using a bunch of fake meat, or they're being very drastic with their approach and being like military with the nutrition. Like we're the only ones that are like that flexible and sustainable with the approach. Yeah.
Because we were not eating that bad before. We were eating meat.
Yeah.
But we were eating fruit and vegetable at least. Yeah,
you guys weren't eating like UPF. So they call UPF, ultra processed foods.
Oh, okay.
Like you guys weren't eating a bunch of shit food. Like you were eating somewhat healthy compared to the majority of society. Yeah. But the nutrition was off still. Yeah. Yeah, because you can eat healthy food and still be overweight.
Yeah, and calories too, and protein.
Yeah.
Protein intake.
Yeah, your calories you and Dad were all over the place, right? That's how you put on weight. Because you guys were both exercising. That's one thing to both of you. You've always been consistent with exercise throughout my lifetime. Yeah. Yeah, and that's obviously going to keep going at this point. So great last words of wisdom to pass on, to do it early. For the people that are in the New Year's energy that are listening to this, you're probably going to hear a lot of podcasts. You're going to read a lot of books. There's going to be a lot of people doing a lot of shit beginning of the year to kind of help with the fat loss, because everyone thinks to seem that January is somehow a freaking magical month. You gain superpowers and unlimited willpower, and you just have the most discipline you'll ever have in your year at the beginning of January. It's all false. It's just because you are excited to do it, and once you commit to it, then that's kind of where that power comes from, right? There's nothing special with the time of the year, because every day could have the January 1st feeling if you choose to. Like, you can be like March 17th, a random day, and treat it as your new year and be like, this is the day that my life starts to change, right? It's just because you choose to give it that specialness, but you have that ability to give that to every other day of the year to start a transformation, right? Because we've talked about this before. If you go off track or you mess up, you start and you're all excited and then you kind of mess up. Some people will wait till the next Monday. Some people will wait till the next month. Some people will wait till the next quarter. And some people wait till next January. Like, if your plan is to be healthy this year and on January 14th you mess up, don't wait till January 2026 to get back on track. That doesn't make sense.
No. Win the next meal.
Exactly. Get back on track as fast as possible. And so the best thing is, take imperfect action, learn from it, take another action that's slightly better, because now you know what didn't work, and then move forward. Treat it as a long game plan, because I know you know this. I know that you're going to exercise for the rest of your life, but people, when they start a transformation journey, they think like, oh, I just got to exercise and watch my nutrition for 4 months. I was like, no, it's a lifetime thing. Like, you did reverse dieting after, which allowed you to eat like 2,300 calories roughly to maintain the 50-pound fat loss. Like, if you start eating Twinkies and donuts and you stop exercising, you would have went back up to 180 plus pounds.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you have to maintain the lifestyle after. You're just not as strict with your nutrition, right? And you don't do as much exercise as when you were like at the peak of your deficit. You do less exercise, but you're still exercising. You're not as strict with your nutrition, but you're still monitoring it. Like, you're not going off board and eating cake every day. No. All right. So you're still making healthy decisions. So it's a lifetime thing, but people treat it as like a 4-month or whatever 8-week challenge shit they're going to see.
No, you want to grow older and healthy.
Yeah. Because I feel like 60 is a defining age for a lot of people. I did a few studies on that, because the average lifespan for, I think, women's a little bit longer, but for a man's about 76 years old.
Okay.
I think it's a stats for America. We're about 76. That's crazy. That's young. 76. Because you have members that are like 84 and like super great shape, right? So to imagine that the average person would die at 76, it's crazy. So there was a graph at 60 that some people will either go in two directions. They'll either go like, they'll get worse, like they'll go drastically down in health because they're not exercising, not eating healthy, and they have years of just abusing their body with bad nutrition and not exercising. Or at 60, if they have a history of eating healthy and exercising, then, you know, they continue to stay healthy, they continue to move upwards. Or at 60, if they start to exercise and eat healthy, they will move in that upward direction. But the ones that do nothing go down. No one stays in the middle at that point, because if you do nothing, you have years probably of doing nothing. And so you've beat yourself. You've built your body, you've built you've beat your body, you beat your gut, you beat your health. And then all that is compounding to you going downwards. So like, you actively have to do something to like go in the upward trajectory where you're going to be healthier, your bones are going to be stronger, you're going to have more lean muscle. Yeah. Yeah. I don't get it. Right. I told you the whole story of the hospital with a family member on Ivy's side. I was like, eating fruits and vegetables is so much easier than going to the hospital.
It is.
and dealing with the bills and the pain and the stress that comes from it. Like, I don't know, eating whole food plant-based is like so much easier of a solution. And exercising. Like, exercising is painful, but I think you're a bad example of that, because you've always liked exercising, but a lot of people don't like strength training. But it's because they suck at it. Like, we all hate stuff that we suck at, right? Like, I hate dancing, but if I was good at dancing, I would like dancing. So I know I have to take lessons. That's why I'm going to take lessons with Ivy. People hate strength training because they suck at it. But once they kind of get into it and they get stronger and they feel the strength that you feel, they go like, oh, this is fun. Like, I can lift heavier weights. I'm able to move through. I'm able to like carry all the grocery bags in one go. You're able to do more stuff and you feel strong. Like, it becomes addicting at that point.
Yeah, it's like my sister-in-law. She decided,
Which one?
Joanne,
Yeah.
at one point, I don't know what made her to find the decision to start training.
Yeah.
But she went to the gym. She's training, I think, 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
She hired a coach. She
Yeah.
has her nutrition, and she lost 50 or 55 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's so happy about it. She's full of energy. She goes, wow.
Oh, good. You know what? I see her watching my stories every day since the day I started. Oh yeah, I see her name, Joanne. I see she's right there every single time. Yeah, I was like, man, she's like really watching all of my stories. Yeah. So I'm happy for her. That's awesome.
Yeah, and she still continue. Yeah.
I haven't seen her since she started losing weight, because I didn't see her last time I was here 2 years ago. So
no.
Yeah.
Well, she had a good transformation. Yeah, really proud of her.
Nice. Yeah. So it just takes a moment to change, right? You just have to make the decision. I'm no longer going to be overweight. I'm no longer going to eat this way, and I'm no longer going to be inactive. And just once you commit to it, then it's like done. Yeah. I say marriage is supposed to mean something to a lot of people. In LA doesn't mean too much for a lot of people, right? People get like married and divorced really quickly, but you're basically marrying yourself. You're making that commitment to yourself for the rest of your life. You're going to live this way because you love yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That's literally what it is. Yeah. So.
And you have to say it that you love yourself.
Yeah. And not beat yourself up when you slide, because you're going to, right? You're going to mess up a bunch of times. Life is going to happen. There's going to be stressors, travel. You have to move, work out to a different day. You don't have access to the best food, but you just do the best that you can with it. And if ever you go off track, just win the next meal, literally right after.
It's like yesterday. I didn't train.
Yeah.
You left, and then my Michael came over. We talked, and then we look at the times. Go, okay, we'll do training tomorrow. So I went on the app, switched to training for today. Yeah,
and that's what it's for, right? Like, it's not because the workout's on a Wednesday that it has to be done. There's no magic. There's nothing magical about doing the workout on a Wednesday. No. It's like, ideally, it's there because there's breaks in between the workouts or whatever. But if you move it on Thursday and you do it, you'll still the same thing as if you have done it on Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the big lesson for 2025, I always like to put a theme for the year. And obviously we're recording this podcast a little bit earlier to January. So I don't know what my theme for 2025 will be yet. But I think if I was to pass off a theme for people, is to, what was the saying? It was impatience with action, patience with results. Meaning, take action. Be impatient with taking action, but be patient with the results, because it'll take a lot longer than what you think it will take, right? Like, you want to lose weight in the past in like a few months. It took you 9 months to lose the weight, but because it took you longer, you've learned, and now you've kept it off for 4 years after, right? And so impatience with action, but patience with result. So like the theme for the year, I think, is just like impatience with action, patience with result. There's so much reading and podcast listening you can do, and documentaries you can watch. Like, eventually you just have to take action. Eventually you just have to do a squat, right? Like, you can read about a squat, you can listen about doing a squat. Eventually you just have to do the squat, right? Yeah. You can read about nutrition, you can watch about nutrition, you can hear about it, but eventually you have to eat the freaking broccoli, right? Eventually you just have to do the thing.
Yeah. And the gym, you don't have to go to the gym. You can train at home.
Yeah, you lost all your weight with home workouts, and you guys didn't have a proper gym at the time. Now you do, because you've equipped yourself. But when you lost the 50 pounds, it was with resistance band and body weight. Yeah, so that happens when you do it properly. Yep. All right. Well, Mom, thank you very much for jumping on the show and recording the first podcast of the year with me. Yeah, this is the first podcast. We're kicking off the year strong. We're going to be doing a lot more podcasts in person with members and guests this year, because we're trying to put a bigger emphasis on YouTube with in-person videos. For you guys listening, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, to the audio podcast, because we have a lot of cool guests coming up and doing some cool shit this year. Last year, the podcast kind of blew up. We almost did like 3/4 of our listens in the past year that we've done in the previous like 3.5 years of podcasting. And so we're on a great trajectory. And so this year we want to continue doing it and bring some new guests that we've never had on the show and record in person, because this is so much more fun than to do it on Zoom. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Mom, thank you for jumping on the show.
You're welcome, son.
Everyone, thank you very much for listening to the first episode of the year. We're excited to serve you this year if ever you choose to work with us. But if not, implement the great tips that my mom just shared with you to help you kickstart you on your transformation. And just to kind of narrow down the theme for the year, it should be action. If you take action, beautiful things happen, right? You either learn that was not the right path to go down on, and now you can course correct and go down the other one. But action is the thing that will change your life, your health, your body, and your fitness, and your relationship, and your financial situation, and everything in your life this year. So, theme of the year, if you choose to take it on, should be action. All right, guys, thank you very much for listening to the show. Again, if you want us to help you with your transformation, there's a link down below where you can book your free application call. We'd love to serve you this year because we have some massive goals. Our overall mission is help 10,000 people get lean, thrive, and disease-proof their body on plants by 2033 and 1 million by 2050. I don't know where we are at currently, but by the time of this recording, we're like almost over 850 people in 4.5 years of doing this. And so we're exponentially growing towards that 10,000, and we'd love to be able to serve you on your transformation. So book your call down below, and we will see you on the next podcast. Bye, everyone.